example, the young cat from the president. It creates big impact, right?
Yes,
So,
yes, yes.
so people tend to wait for the picture, for the meme, right?
Yes.
In every big day in Indonesia.
Yeah.
So only small unconventional approach, it can
Mm-hmm.
be big impact.
Yeah. Hello, Sobat Kokamuhi. Welcome back to our podcast series where we talk about how to engage the community for a better earth. I'm Nikita, your host, who will guide you in this conversation. So, in today's episode, we will discuss how the young generation can create powerful community branding. And I think this is relatable for us as a young generation because we have social media and we explore a lot of things in social media. And for people who has their community or organization, of course branding is an important thing. And I'm here with the special guest today. And she is my English lecturer. Her name is Miss Alfe.
Hi everyone.
Hello, Miss Alfe.
Okay. Thank you, Nikki,
Welcome
for
to
inviting me.
Yeah, welcome to our podcast. And
Thank
how do you feel
you.
today?
I'm great, especially with the background. Yeah, it makes my it sparks my
Yeah,
heart.
kitchen.
So very happy. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And did you cook something today?
Today, unfortunately, not. Oh, I think like egg. I bought some egg for breakfast. That's it. Probably later. Yeah, later. In the
Mm-hmm.
evening.
Yeah, yeah. And today we will talk about community branding. And do you think this is very important also for the young generation, right?
Yes, of course, for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And talking about branding, can you tell us how you got interested in branding communication?
Probably I'll start with communication. Yeah, I've always
Mm-hmm.
been fascinated by the
Mm-hmm.
way communication between people, yeah, especially
Mm-hmm.
shapes perceptions and build
Mm-hmm.
connections,
Mm-hmm.
especially like it becomes stronger. I mean, it's shifted, especially after the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Probably it changed already into something. What is it? It because it changed everything. The
Mm-hmm.
issue we've faced before, like several years ago, it changed how we connect, how we
Mm-hmm.
communicate one another.
Mm-hmm.
Before, probably we
Mm-hmm.
rely much on face-to-face communication. I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
real face-to-face. Yeah, I know I'm facing
Mm-hmm.
you right now, but it's different. I'm
Yes.
facing a screen actually, and after the pandemic, it's changed.
Mm-hmm.
The what is it? It disrupts everything. So yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
become more, what is it? More, it's become timeless and borderless because we can connect to many other people from around the globe,
Mm-hmm.
anywhere, anytime. I mean, using
Mm-hmm.
internet. So, but still, it can build connection. So we can build connection with broader people. We
Mm-hmm.
don't have to visit them, taking airplane to different continent, but we can just everyone was just one click away.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned about we face pandemic and the new way of communication.
Mhm.
Can you explain to us about what do you notice about the communication pattern before the pandemic and after pandemic?
Well, as I said earlier, probably it's the time. Probably it
Mm-hmm.
you can say we can say that it become timeless. I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
border, like for example, in professional context, for example, or academics, probably, yeah. Back then,
Mm-hmm.
we have to wait, or at least,
Mm-hmm.
what is it? We have to wait to talk to other people, to our
Mm-hmm.
colleagues, to our classmates, probably to our
Yes.
we have to wait until tomorrow, until the office hours, because we need to
Mm-hmm.
what is it, meet them in person. Or, well, yeah, the technology, the short message already exists, but after the pandemic, when we cannot face them directly, it become normal to us to what is it, to call, to text,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of time. So at
Mm-hmm.
night, for example, it kind
Mm-hmm.
of cause a new problem, new challenges. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I believe some what is it? Some stakeholders already giving like their way already. Yeah, some
Mm-hmm.
socialization or yeah things to okay the do and the don't, something like that. But yeah, it works kinda. But yeah, it works. We adapt to the new way of communication.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
and
one of the thing is about the time, and when before pandemic, it not really normal that we chat a lot, and yeah, because we do all the thing in person, not in virtually. But when it
Mhm,
shift to uh the after pandemic, it's normal to texting and do chatting a lot. And it remind me when I was in the organization. So
mhm.
I was a secretary
Yes,
there. And yeah, they contact me, they text me at the midnight, and I feel, oh my God,
I know, right? I
that's
mean,
one of
I
the
need to
problem.
rest.
And also
Yeah, yeah.
in weekend, what? Yeah.
And then
So
probably, oh, yep.
they do the like border in thing rules, something like
Mm.
that.
Mhm, mhm. Oh, and about branding, yeah. So the question
Mm-hmm.
we also mentioned about branding, when did I got interested in
Mm-hmm.
branding? Actually, since I teach, my study program is actually applied English, but it focused on what is it? On public relations, language for public
Mm-hmm.
relations. It talk
Mm-hmm.
more or less about branding also.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I really learn actually about branding.
Mm-hmm.
Before I have to teach my students, I have to really understand what branding is actually. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there when I start learning more and more, learning deeper about branding, and that's when I know that branding actually is not only about logo. Probably for some people, most of
Mm-hmm.
people still think that branding is logo. Logo equals
Mm-hmm.
brand, but not just that, not
Mm-hmm.
just logos and slogans, but also
Mm-hmm.
what is it like authentic, memorable experiences that
Mm-hmm.
made people think, oh, when you mention this, or when you see or somehow see what is it, some logo or some products or some story that that directly what is it direct you to some probably organization, probably some product, some
Mm-hmm.
service, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's branding.
Mm-hmm. So branding not just about the symbol like logo or something like
And or
slogan, but also the
name, no.
story of the um, organization or community, and it really connected maybe the audience
Yes,
emotion, right?
yes, correct,
Mm-hmm. And
exactly.
talking about learning branding, what was the most meaningful lesson you learned about branding?
That's one actually that it's not only about
Mm-hmm.
the brand itself, the logo itself, the color palette, no, but how you, what is it, how you create somewhat,
Mm-hmm.
what is it, some, yeah, authentic experiences,
Mm-hmm.
probably that
Mm-hmm.
resonates, that connects you with your audience. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, building a successful brand is actually requires
Mm-hmm.
consistency, of course,
Mm-hmm.
clarity, And then also you have to really understand your audience needs and values, something like that. Mhm.
And yeah, we talk about branding, and branding is not just about logo and the other thing, but probably perhaps our audience still wondering what is branding, what branding look like. Can you tell us from your perspective, how do you describe branding and how important is this skill in this era?
Okay, so probably I can start with it's a process of defining and also shaping the identity.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a product,
Mm-hmm.
it can be a service, it can be also an organization, club, whatever you name it. So
Mm-hmm.
defining and shaping the
Mm-hmm.
identity. Yeah. So in especially in today's digital age, after the disruptions we experienced earlier,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, where competition is become more fierce and
Mm-hmm.
people's attention span are become short. So we really
Mm-hmm.
need branding to make people remember us, to make people
Mm-hmm.
know us among those other competitors, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it becomes more and more important to do the branding
Mm-hmm.
itself,
Mm-hmm.
to keep exist, yeah, to keep exist
Mm-hmm.
among every other else.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
not also just about standing out. It's also
Mm-hmm.
about staying relevant. Yeah. So to become
Mm-hmm.
exist, you don't only need to be exist to stand there, but also to stay relevant. So you don't
Mm-hmm.
what is it become outdated, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
yeah.
it's not only about show off, but
Mm,
how it connect to
yeah.
work and
Mm.
connect to people, right?
Yes, yeah. So people always, the world is a dynamic. What is it? The
Mm-hmm.
dynamic. Yeah, it's very dynamic. So yeah, people they develop. The
Mm-hmm.
world is also developing. So to keep relevant, you have to stay relevant with your audience, with your people. So that's why it's important to stay relevant in branding.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned about stay relevant. What do you can you provide us an example how people stay relevant to their branding?
To their people. Probably it's what is it? Nowadays, say the what is it? The formal institution,
Mm-hmm.
some what's it? A government institution like the ministry, for example, they know
Mm-hmm.
that their audience, especially in social media nowadays, they have lots of audience in social media, and then they try to stay relevant to them by hiring some what's it Gen Z's admin, for example. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's one way to stay relevant with your
Mm-hmm.
audience.
Uh-huh.
So they know what is it? They know how to deliver the message to their
Ah.
audience. If they,
Mm-hmm.
let's say, only use a conventional platform, conventional
Mm-hmm.
like formal languages and something
Mm-hmm.
like that, they won't be relevant with your audience. The message
Mm-hmm.
won't be delivered
Mm-hmm.
well. So that's
Mm-hmm.
probably one example. One
Mm-hmm.
example.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And it reminds me to Jokowi's Instagram social media
I
account.
know,
So
right?
every yeah, every big day celebration, there are an illustration, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
everyone, and one of the interesting thing in Jokowi's Instagram account is in every illustration there are uh kucing orange,
yeah. The
orange
orange
cat,
cat.
right?
Yes.
The
Mhm.
orange cat, and yeah, every time the illustration posted, of course, people looking for where is the where is the orange cat, and they
Mhm.
looking at the memes and the other funny thing there.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, because it's I don't know either actually why
Mhm.
orange cat. I didn't really I didn't quite follow the trend.
Mhm.
Yeah, people
Mhm.
talk about the orange cat everywhere. Probably I
Mhm.
missed the trend, yeah, but yeah,
Mhm.
it stays relevant. It helps the what is it, our president to stay relevant with their
Mhm.
audience, especially the ones using the
Mhm.
platform, the Instagram platform. Mhm.
Mhm. Mhm. And maybe it little shift to not about social media, but
Mm.
in your class, because you are a lecturer. I have a question, and I really wonder about personal branding, because
Okay.
personal branding is really important, right? And
Mm.
in the context of branding, it requires authenticity and confidence, right? And as a lecturer, what are your expectations of your student in terms of developing their branding through authenticity and confidence? Because
Mm.
our audience is the young generation, and I think personal branding is really important to get scholarship, to gain the job, right? Uh-huh.
Mm. Mhm, mhm. Okay, so as a lecturer, as
Mm-hmm.
one of your lecturers, my
Mm-hmm.
expectation for my students, also you,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, in developing their branding is that it's about
Mm-hmm.
sorry, and also confidence. So students
Mm-hmm.
have to be authentic. Why? As you
Mm-hmm.
said, as we discussed earlier last week, probably, yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
everyone is unique. So they have to be authentic. They don't have
Yeah.
to follow, what is it? Follow everyone. It's okay to have idol, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not that the idol is the perfect figure. I
Mm-hmm.
have to be them. No, because you have your own story. You have your own, what is it? Authenticity. Yeah. And the authenticity builds trust. It
Mm-hmm.
shows that it's really you. It's not anybody else. You're not trying to be other people. Alpha is Alpha, Nikki is Nikki. We are
Mm-hmm.
unique in our own way, right? And
Mm-hmm.
also they have
Mm-hmm.
to be confident.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because confidence
Mm-hmm.
will, what is it? It will grabs attention.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is that, so if you're not confident, people will not, what is it?
Mm-hmm.
It will not see you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or will not bother to see you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's it's different when you talk to someone confident and someone
Mm-hmm.
who are not, who is
Mm-hmm.
not confident. And by, what is it, when you talk to someone who is confident, you can feel their energy, you can feel their
Mm-hmm.
motivation, their
Mm-hmm.
positive energy. So that's why you have to be authentic, meaning
Mm-hmm.
that what is it, it's you, it's yourself, not others. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be confident, so
Mm-hmm.
people will take a look on you, will focus on you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's probably my expectation for my students.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what is your I have my statement that every branding that we build, it starts from our personal branding, because our personal branding describe what we want to do, what who we are. So do you think that maybe every branding that we build in our organization or our community comes from our personal branding?
More or less, yes, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not always. It's not always. Personal
Mm-hmm.
branding, it's really about you, about someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if it has become organizational, organization of course have their own purpose, have their own
Mm-hmm.
goal, have their
Mm-hmm.
own mission. So it's not
Mm-hmm.
only about you, but you are part of them. So
Mm-hmm.
you might as well, what is it, affect,
Mm-hmm.
um contribute to the
Mm-hmm.
goal setting, probably. So it
Mm-hmm.
also has you there because you
Mm-hmm.
are part of the organization.
Mm-hmm. So it's more about from the diverse of people, we take one mission, and
Mm.
we take one mission to the community or organization branding, right?
Yes.
So we find the same thing in the organization.
Mm,
One of
mhm,
them are our mission or our vision
mhm.
or our purpose.
Yes. So yeah, I agree.
And in nowadays there are a lot of community and a lot of organization, and in our campus there are a lot of organization.
I know.
And from your perspective, how do you describe a community branding or organization branding and how it has grown in this era?
Okay, so I know that I noticed that there are uh quite many organizations. Let's talk about our the what is it, the organization in our faculty itself. We got
Mm-hmm.
plenty. Every study program has their own club, have their own student organization, not to mention the clubs and other activities. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So community branding actually it's about highlighting the unique attributes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said before that um organization have their own
Mm-hmm.
purpose. So
Mm-hmm.
in building the branding, you have to know your goal. You have to know your mission. What is your mission? And then who are your audiences? And you want to, what is it, deliver the message about your goal, about about your activities, about your concern to your audiences, right? So that's why
Mm-hmm.
to deliver those, you need a strong brand, you need a strong branding
Mm-hmm.
on your organization to then connect to your students. So the messages that you want to say to them, to the community, to your audiences,
Mm-hmm.
will be delivered well, something
Mm-hmm.
like that.
So you mentioned the message that we bring to the community need to be bring well. And how
Mm.
do we start the community branding with positive message? I mean, how do we create the positive message that relatable and understandable or accessible for people?
Okay, so um, probably you can start with identifying shared values and also
Mm-hmm.
aspirations. So after you
Mm-hmm.
know your goal, after you know
Mm-hmm.
your mission, you
Mm-hmm.
identify which ones probably are what is it the shared values, the common values that you have with your audiences.
Mm-hmm.
By
Mm-hmm.
finding those, you can
Mm-hmm.
start delivering your aspirations, start delivering your messages towards towards your community, towards your audiences. Because
Mm-hmm.
one organization might not, of course, it won't click with all of the audiences, right? Like
Yes, for sure.
let's say probably organization, there are plenty of organizations concerning about sustainability, but every organizations have their own, have their own audiences, if I might say. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
probably
Yes.
some spread their messages to the
Mm-hmm.
children. Probably
Mm-hmm.
some deliver the message to the parents, probably
Mm-hmm.
in a student level, in university
Mm-hmm.
level, to
Mm-hmm.
towards some tiny community, let's say in rural areas. They will have those organizations with different audiences. They will have different strategy to deliver their messages, and they
Mm-hmm.
will, I believe, they will have different branding, the way
Mm-hmm.
to communicate to other people, to
Mm-hmm.
different different audiences, even though they shared common goals about sustainable
Mm-hmm.
sustainable sustainability. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yes. 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 So what I need to do first is get know what is the value that we want to offer to people,
Mm,
and
mhm,
we also need to determine who is our audience.
correct.
Is there they are parents or they are rural people or
Mm,
urban people
mm,
or young generation. So
yes.
without knowing the specific audience, it would probably hard for us to get what is the best strategy
Yes.
and still being authentic, right?
Yes, yes, exactly. Like nowadays, probably to get more, there are also quite many strategies, yeah, to grab more and more
Mm,
people. Like, for example,
mm,
if you have, what is it, if your audiences are young people in
mm,
Indonesia, for example,
mm,
probably by what is it, by inviting like some K-pop
mm,
phenomenon, they will create bigger and bigger impact. If
yeah.
only
Mm,
if yeah, let's say that's also one strategist. If you,
mm,
what is it, you target some communities like the ones who love playing game online, you can also
mm,
bring those, what is it, bring those phenomena to your campaign, for example, to your messages. So it really depends. It really depends on your audiences.
mm,
And again, still stay authentic. So if it's not
mm,
you, then don't. Uh,
mm,
if not, then probably your real audiences will not be interested in you anymore, because
mm,
it's not this community. I don't really like this, but why they should bring another people or something like that. So
mm,
stay authentic, but stay relevant. That's why the first thing about branding is always your goal, and then see who are your audiences.
mm. So it's not only about knowing us, but we also need to know about our audience, their
Mm,
habits,
mm,
and what they love, what they
yes.
don't really like.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's okay that we are not click to everybody, because yeah, every community has their own followers or their own audience, so we
Mm,
don't need to afraid that this person don't like our community, and this person don't really concerned to our community, maybe
yes.
they are
Mhm.
not our audience.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it growed by the process, right? So we
Mm.
can't got the 100 audience in one day.
No.
Mm.
No.
Just still authentic, and yeah, people slowly will look at your goals, and yeah, people slowly look at our value, and then yeah, because they look our value and relatable for them.
Mm.
So it's not I I read the book Start with Why. Do you know the book Start with Why?
Probably I saw it somewhere, but I haven't really quite
The
read.
writer is
Mhm.
Simon Sinek. Yeah,
Mhm.
Simon Sinek. He mentioned that people want to follow you not because uh they uh they want to contribute to you, but people want to follow you because they want to contribute to their self, and people think you will help their self to become better. So yeah, that's
Mhm.
what I remind about the book Start with Why.
I agree actually
So
with
yeah,
the saying, yes.
yeah. So the purpose is not about me, but also about how it contribute to our audience, how it
Mhm.
helpful for our
Yes.
audience.
Yes. We just
Yeah.
we just we just there to help them. So it's up
Mm-hmm.
to them to follow or
Mm-hmm.
not. To you to, yes.
Mm-hmm. So it's branding. It's not just about show off,
Mm.
but give something to people also,
Yeah.
right?
Mm. I agree.
And mhm. And nowadays some positive community, like focusing on sustainability or environmental
Mm,
care or a community focus on making a better earth. But
mm,
there is challenging thing that people tend to be more concerned with sensational thing. Like we see in the Instagram, people talk about the controversial thing about the artist problem in their house and the other sensational thing, right? Then give attention to this positive
mm,
community. What
mm,
can this positive community do with their branding to attract more people? I mean,
mm.
yeah, because talking about sustainability, we need to engage people,
Yes,
right? So,
yes, yes.
what you can, what is your tips about this?
Okay, to attract more people, yeah, probably
Mhm.
one of the strategies is using storytelling.
Mhm.
If I believe everyone is familiar with the term, yeah. So to attract
Mhm.
more attention to those
Mhm.
positive communities focused on
Mhm.
making a better earth, for example, it can be a
Mhm.
powerful tool, the storytelling, by
Mhm.
sharing stories probably of impact and progress, yeah. So these
Mhm.
communities can um, attract audiences and
Mhm.
create a sense of hope and probably
Mhm.
possibility that we can do something, we can do
Mhm.
something, we can always do something, start from the small up, yeah. It what is it, so probably by using social media we
Mhm.
can what is it, and other digital platforms, we can
Mhm.
amplify the messages, so we can spread the messages and reach new audiences. one
Mhm.
one one person have some followers, and then if the followers was it one of the followers of this person, and then um acting the same thing, I mean doing the same step, probably it will reach at least one, two, I mean it depends, yeah. It always depends on the
Mhm.
on the people, how well, how their impact to others. So yeah, storytelling to make people believe that it is relatable. So my friend can do that, and that means probably me, I can also start with myself. So
Mhm.
probably that one thing. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's storytelling.
storytelling is really
Mm,
powerful tool,
mm,
and yeah, in TED talks, speaker always use storytelling to deliver their message, right? And they
yes.
use their narrative.
Mm,
They also share about their struggle. They also share that all the thing all the success thing come from the process, and their mistakes makes them learn, and yeah, and a
yeah.
lot of things, and a
Mm,
lot of powerful thing we can package in storytelling, right? And do
yeah.
you have any favorite example from TED talks that that describe this thing,
Mm,
describe about how storytelling is
mm.
powerful? Do you have any example from TED talk?
Probably not one specific, but in general, what I like
Mhm.
about
Mhm.
TED Talks specifically is that almost all, yeah, probably all, but let me
Mhm.
just say almost all of the
Mhm.
speakers, they really understand the power of storytelling. That it
Mhm.
creates some emotional connections. It
Yes,
can
yes.
it can inspire empathy. I mean, make people relate that, make the stories, I mean, the message from the stories become relatable to everyone who listens.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so they really understand that storytelling can engage the audience,
Mhm.
can really what is it, can really make them listen to their stories, and
Mhm.
then at the end, by what is it, by being able to somewhat make the audience hear you, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
listen to you, then that's the messages that you want to deliver become delivered
Mm-hmm.
to the
Mm-hmm.
audiences. So
Ah, yeah.
I think that it's very powerful because it can engage, it can educate people in its way, yeah, in a meaning in a amazing ways. I mean, because
Mm-hmm.
people will listen to you through your stories first, and
Mm-hmm.
then somehow we can probably even inspire the audiences to do the same. So
Mm-hmm.
that's storytelling.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And one thing that I noticed in some of the speakers in TED Talk is they always ask like this. Have you ever experienced blah blah blah? Something like that. So it
Yeah.
connects to the audience
Yeah, they try to
directly.
relate. They try to relate.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I always remember that they told, have you ever experienced blah blah blah? Then they start with
Exactly.
their story, right?
Yes, they always start with
Mm-hmm.
stories.
Mm-hmm. And they also questioning something to the audience, so the audience can give their maybe opinion just by raising their hand,
No,
and
meaning,
yeah, something like interactive thing, right?
mhm. Even though the talk is like a one-way talk, but
Mm-hmm.
never have I ever what is it watch a TED talk that not what is it not inviting audience in the talk.
Mm-hmm.
So if
Yes.
only if even though it's just raising hand, I mean the
Mm-hmm.
audience feel the audiences will feel what is it connected to the speaker, even though they don't really
Yes.
communicate in verbal.
Yeah. 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 I get a new thing from you, even though they don't talk, and then yeah, because the speaker already give a powerful message, inspiring message, so it connects it to people,
Mm. Mhm.
right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And they this audience give their reaction by laughing, and then yeah, just rise the
Mhm,
hand
mhm,
and the
mhm.
other thing.
Yeah, yeah. Even though let's say that's also what I learned during what is
Mm-hmm.
it during my time teaching
Mm-hmm.
online. Yeah, teaching
Mm-hmm.
online. Well, it's not what is it? Not always, but it frequently that I'm the one only what is it? I'm sharing my screen, sharing what's
Mm-hmm.
opening camera, and then when I ask questions to students, they become quiet. I don't know why, but
Mm-hmm.
probably they don't want the spotlight. They don't want the
Mm-hmm.
spotlight, but that's okay. But
Mm-hmm.
I always have what is it? The lecturer will always have this what is it? The strategy actually to
Mm-hmm.
the same thing as the TED Talk speakers. Yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
it's okay. Probably you can always what is it? Give your reaction to what is it?
Mm-hmm.
Probably using the feature from Zoom, like clapping hands or give love or any reaction, something like that. So there's always a way. There's always a way to get people.
Yes, there's mm-hmm. Yeah. If yeah, all the thing can connect to people when it relate to them, right? The key
Mhm.
is how it relatable, how it connect, how our message is connect to people. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And for this is my last question. Um, do you have any tips for the young generation that want to improve their branding with their message? Do you have any tips for young campaigner who want to deliver their message with powerful branding in the community?
Okay, probably yes. So we talk about communication. We
Mm-hmm.
talk about branding. We talk
Mm-hmm.
about how to deliver messages, right? So
Mm-hmm.
my tips
Mm-hmm.
would be first, you always have to start with
Mm-hmm.
defining your purpose and values
Mm-hmm.
clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Purpose and
Mm-hmm.
values. So
Mm-hmm.
what makes you different from others.
Mhm.
What makes you different from others? Purpose, values, yeah. And then when you already know, when you
Mhm.
already defining the purpose and values,
Mhm.
and stay strong there, and then
Mhm.
understand your audience, what
Mhm.
resonates with them. So
Mhm.
who are they? How can
Mhm.
you relate to them? Understand your
Mhm.
audience, what they like, what they
Mhm.
don't like, and then
Mhm.
you can craft what is it, like a interesting, not interesting, strong narrative, yeah, that speak to their aspiration and also their concern. So after you
Mhm.
define your purpose and values, you start you have to know your audience, and then
Mhm.
what can resonate with them, what
Mhm.
story can what is it, can bring your message to them. Okay,
Mhm.
that's probably the steps that you can do. And then don't forget to also always be authentic. Be
Mhm.
authentic, be bold, be consistent with your messages across all
Mhm.
channels. Now everyone using different platform, right? And
Mhm.
I believe it's not only the online platform. We have so many online platforms like Instagram, let's say X, and then what else? TikTok.
Mhm.
Make your messages consistent in every channel. That will help
Mhm.
you. What is it? That will help you what is it, people will notice you. Oh, this is
Mhm.
them, this is this organization, this is this club, for example. And
Mhm.
finally, probably don't be afraid to push boundaries. Yeah, sometimes
Mhm.
the unconventional approach will make can make biggest impact. Like for example, the young cat from the president, it create big
Mhm.
impact, right? So
Yes, yes, yes.
so people tend to, what is it, wait for the for the picture, for the meme, right?
Yes.
In every, what is it, big day in Indonesia.
Yeah.
So only small unconventional approach, it can
Mhm.
be big impact.
Yeah, I feel the same thing. So I have a community named Kokabuhi,
Mhm.
and I think initially I always talk about urban hit island, and people uh think and tend to be not connected. What is urban hit island? I think that's not relatable. But when
Mhm.
I bring the story, how the hot city impact our productivity, and it degrade our sleep quality, and yeah, people feel connected, and they also start to share their experience about
Yeah,
the hot city. Yeah.
that's
So
right.
we also need to be careful
Mhm.
to see who is our audience when we talk to the academic. Maybe we can use the word urban hit island,
I
but
know.
when we talk about our audience that are not the academic people, yeah, we need to use simple word, relatable word to connect with them and send that message that yeah, today we face really hot weather, and that is not good, that is disaster because it impact our health problem. And do you experience that? Yeah, maybe something like that.
Mhm.
So yeah, what you shared with us is also relatable for me. And yeah, I learned a new thing from you. And thank you so much, Miss Alfe, for
Sure,
sharing a
yeah, I
lot of
feel
things.
honored.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and a lot of positive thing that we need to be persistent, we need to be authentic,
Mhm.
and yeah, how we can deliver the message.
Mhm.
And yeah, do you have anything, any close statement of anything that you want to say, or any advice that you want to say to our audience, or they got encouragement from you?
Okay, so probably one thing, even though we're small, again,
Mhm.
we're unique. we're
Mm-hmm.
unique. We are part of this community.
Mm-hmm.
We can contribute to this community.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
A big step always what's it come from small step. Yeah, so
Yes. Wonderful.
we can always start small to
Wow.
get the big impact. I think that's all.
Yeah. Yes, thank you so much, Miss Alfe, for sharing with us. And thank you so much for our audience who watched this video, this podcast. Stay tuned with the other podcast because we will discuss about a lot of things that make the community for a better earth. And yeah, stay tuned. And Miss Alve, before we close this podcast, let's do Salam Superhero. So I will count 1, 2, 3, and I say Salam, and we say superhero together. Are you ready,
Okay.
Miss Alve?
Okay.
So
More than
okay,
ready.
1, 2, 3, Salam
Superhero.
Superhero. Yeah.
Superhero.
See you soon,
See
Sobat
you.
Kokamuhi. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.